Alright, welcome back to another video where I'm going to be jumping into the Bitcoin price action, as well as I did want to cover an altcoin that just got a major announcement today. So we'll go ahead and finish the video off with that. So on my chart right now, you can see I have daily volume levels, right? Value area high, value area low are these blue lines, with the point of control being the white lines. You can see previous day point of control is the level I was talking about in my last video, where we did in fact make that low yesterday, and I said that was probably the bottom, but there was a chance we were going to go ahead and sweep this low down here. Take out all your leverage positions to put their stops there. And of course, you can see price did in fact come down and sweep that. And the way you could have known this was going to happen is that when we went ahead and bounced off this point of control, you would have wanted to take a horizontal line and line it up with that previous day value area high, right? So bounced off previous day point of control, the white line, then you have your previous day value area high. That's the resistance from that previous day. You found support on a supportive level of the previous day. Now the question is, are you going to be able to find support on that value area high once again like it did back here, or were you going to back test it as resistance? And how you could have known that that was going to roll over and actually sweep this secondary level is that we had a clear rejection on that value area high. You can see right here, clear rejection on it. If you know anything about volume levels, whenever you go ahead and reject a value area high, you will most likely go ahead and test your value area low, which was sitting down here right next to, of course, the sweep level. So that's why we went ahead. We did end up testing that value area low, swept that low, but then went ahead, confirmed a bullish structure, closing above the sweep level. Then with haste, got all the way back on top of your previous day volume level that we had rejected before, holding that as support, as you can see here. So now at this point, I can be confident that was our low. I don't think we're going to be seeing any lower prices, right? It is time for Bitcoin to head on up here and make all-time highs once again. And with that, Bitcoin has now cleared back above the daily EMA, looking real good. Not only has Bitcoin done this, but if we jump over here to the S&P, you can see this thing is going absolutely parabolic right now, and it also is above its daily EMA once again. Told you guys that was too easy of a back test. Whenever you get something that looks like that, usually it's a fake out just to trap more shorts, and that is exactly what we did. S&P looking to go for all-time highs once again, and of course Bitcoin will follow. And what I want to do with the rest of this video now is cover a coin that I think is at a very good buying opportunity. Real quick before we do jump into that though, I forgot to mention you did have a 1 hour bullish divergence on Bitcoin as well, right? So if you're trying to leverage trade Bitcoin or whatever, a big reason you might not have wanted to jump into this trade right away when we did test that value area, you didn't have a bullish edge on your RSI, right? You always want to wait for that. So the fact that you didn't have a bullish divergence, right, on like the 1 hour time frame, you could have just been patient, waited for that, knowing, hey, we're probably going to go sweep this lower level, and that's where we'll finally get the bull div. How I would have traded this personally would be to enter down here, but as soon as I saw this rejection up at the top, I would have just put my stop at entry, let my stop get hit, and then re-entered down in this area here. So that's just a tip there for all you leverage traders out there. Of course, always putting your stop losses at the bottom of these wicks when you do enter those trades. Now, what is this coin that could potentially be so undervalued right now? And that is going to be Radiant. RXD is the ticker. This is a layer 1 similar to Caspa, similar to a Lithium, except for it's a much smaller market cap. And I believe it's just because it doesn't have those exchange listings yet. And that is exactly what happened today. The announcement that they launched 11 hours ago was a MEXC listing. And while MEXC is not, Coinbase or Binance or one of these tier 1s, I would classify it as a tier 2 exchange, right? It's not the worst exchange out there. I trust them a lot. MEXC is very solid to get listed on. I know they launch a bunch of random meme coins that go to zero and that sort of thing. But when you do have a good project, right, a layer 1 that does list on MEXC, it is very bullish. They've been teasing this MEXC listing for quite a while now. I've really been waiting for it because the order books are just so thin on CoinX and XT where it's listed. So the fact that we are going to get listed on MEXC tells me a bunch of volume is about to come into this coin. You are going to see other exchanges start looking at how much volume comes into this coin. I'm really excited to see what actually happens when we get this listing. In bear markets, exchange listings are usually sell the news events, but in a bull market, it's the exact opposite. So I will definitely be buying this thing now. I've been holding off on RXD. I bought just a tiny bit back in the bear market when I did buy my lithium and Caspa, but it has underperformed both of those assets significantly, right? It's still in that bear market range, and we'll go ahead and take a look at that in a second. That's why I'm saying this could be such a good opportunity. So yeah, if you want to learn more about what Radiant is, it's essentially an ultra fast proof of work blockchain that has low fees. I don't think they have the security of something like Caspa, but when you do compare it to something like a lithium, there really shouldn't be this much discrepancy in market cap. I think it's just because Radiant hasn't had the exchange listings, and we're finally getting those. So this thing could really explode. If you want to learn more about the coin, go check them out. This is the Twitter right here. Go read about lithium, go watch some more YouTube videos on it. I'm not going to be covering the fundamentals of this coin in this video. This is going to be more about the TA, the technical analysis. So let's go ahead and jump into that right now. So as you can see, this is the macro chart, right? We haven't had any big run-ups yet. It's still at a lower price than it was at well before the bull run started. The reason you do see this drop right here is because it did launch during a pretty speculative time in the market. This is when you first saw Pepe explode up in price, right? It has then traded pretty much sideways, forming this massive wedge from all the way back in August. We are now sitting in the middle of this wedge. You can see this daily candle is pretty big, right? We did shoot up on that news, the MEXC listing, a whole 20%, now sitting back down at just up 10% on the day. If we do jump in here to a shorter term time frame, we'll go to the 4-hour right now. You can see I do have this secondary wedge, wedge within the wedge. We did break out of this wedge. Are we going to go ahead and back test it before, continuing up and breaking out of the macro wedge? Potentially, right? If we do go ahead and back test this, I will be buying a ton in that zone. I'm probably not going to wait for it though, and I'm just going to start DCAing right now, right? Any lower prices we get, I'm going to be buying it up. I'm going to be buying at the current price, and the reason for me not waiting for that back test is just because of that MEXC listing, right? I'm going to be buying on CoinEx right now, and then once we do get that MEXC listing, I will then wait and see if there are sellers on MEXC, right? Because what we could see happen is it kind of just trades sideways when it does list on MEXC. Maybe you do see an initial drop off from sellers that were just waiting for that listing because they think it's still the bear market and they think that listings are sell the news events. And then of course you're going to see that mass inflow from the exchange, and that's when we could go ahead and start going parabolic on this guy. So that's my plan, right? Buy a little bit now on CoinEx and then wait and see how price reacts after the MEXC listing and decide if I want to buy more after the listing. And of course, none of this is financial advice. This coin is a risky play just inherently because of its market cap, but because of that, along with its risk, it does inherently have a much higher reward. And speaking of market cap, right now we are over in CoinMarketCap, taking a look at Radiant, and we can see it is sitting at only $24 million market cap, a $200,000 daily volume. There is no volume off exchange because it is a layer 1. It's mainly just on XT and CoinEx here, which tells me that MEXC listing should at least double the volume just due to how big MEXC is compared to these other exchanges that it's listed on. You can see if we do go to an all-time chart here, you can see how that drop on the exchange was a sell the news event for CoinEx, right? We were looking on TradingView at the CoinEx listing. So that's why you saw that initial drop in price, because of that speculation in April, and then the sell the news event on the exchange, because that's what happens in a bear market. This coin did launch all the way back in December of 2022 though, so it's been around for a while. They've been building on it for a very long time, and we have been trading sideways, accumulating for a very long time. It has a real healthy chart here. Yeah, so Radiant could be the best low market cap gem right now in crypto, right? Of course, none of this is financial advice, but I wanted to let you guys know about this coin because I am so bullish on it, and I will be buying it. This is the first coin I've bought in quite some time, right? The last time I was really buying crypto was back in October, so I thought, why not let you guys know about it so you can do your own research and figure out if you want to do a similar thing to what I'm doing. I'm going to be selling Caspa for it. Not all of my Caspa, I'm going to be selling like maybe 5% of my Caspa just to rotate it into this thing, because I think the potential on this coin is a lot better, especially in the short term here with that MEXC listing. So yeah, I'm going to end the video on that. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe so you can get more just like this in the future. I do have a Discord down below where I do post all this stuff, and you can get updated on it quicker than you will if you just watch the YouTube channel, so make sure to go check that out. It is totally free. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.